Absolutely adore her. She is a woman in her own right that knows her body and knows how to work it. She's confident, and you know what I learned from her, seeing her on stage. She wasn't like the best dancer I'd ever seen, but she was the best in my eyes because she was so passionate about being up there and having a good time.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know she danced.
Like, she does. She's quite the dancer. Yeah.
Wow. Learn something new every day. Now, the band's co-founder, Robin, is also the manager of Matt Goss, as in Matt Goss from the UK, you know, 90s boy band Bros. Did you listen to Bros when you were kind of growing up? Did they make it over there?
I never knew he was even in a boy band, and then somebody was asking me about him, and I've met him quite a few times because obviously Robin is part of the family, and they were like, yeah, he's so famous over here, you can't even walk down the street. I'm like, Matt Goss, really? So now I know. Now I'll go back with my stars in my eyes, like, Matt.
They were all asking after you.
All asking about you.
The Brossettes, that's what they were calling them.
The Brossettes.
Yeah. And the other co-founder of the band is the actress, the amazing actress, Christina Applegate, who starred in Married with Children, Anchorman, and of course Samantha Who, amongst other things. Wow. So what's Christina like?
Christina is amazing. She really is as a person. She is just as chill as they get, and it's great in the industry, especially with everything that we've done. We meet a lot of people, and you meet people with huge egos, and it changes the way you see their craft and you hear the music and whatnot. But when you meet someone that is just genuine and cool and just there to have a good time and doesn't see that she's bigger than you or tries to put on this act, it leaves you just respecting them so much more. So in the moments that I've met her, she's amazing. And to see the struggles that she's been through and to watch her come out on top every single time, it's awesome. We need females out there like her.
This concept of the Pussycat Dolls, it's absolutely an amazing modern-day multimedia business concept. You know, you've got connections within TV, music, and, of course, online. It means a truly global business as well, with cosmetics, underwear, and even computer games.
For sure. It's amazing. Pussycat Dolls is a brand. Robin Anton is the founder and creator of the Pussycat Dolls, and it's incredible to see the heights that she has taken this group to. And I'm so lucky and thankful to be a part of everything that it's been in these past 6-7 years. We've been signed to Interscope A&M, and I'm just thankful for everyone that's been involved. And as I continue to look out at my other ventures that I want to do, my Pussycat Dolls is my family, it's my foundation, it's where I've learned so many life lessons, and I'll continue to take those wherever I go.
And would you go out on your own and still obviously be part of the Pussycat Dolls, or do you reckon there'll be a time when you kind of go, well, I've had my fun, it was great, but I think I'm going to go a bit solo?
You know, you can always hope that you'll always have the Pussycat Dolls, but at the end of the day, I don't make the decisions in this group at all. And it is a business, it is a brand, and they'll do whatever they need to keep it going. And if I'm in it, amazing. I can't wait. It'll be great. If I'm not, then I'm going to continue to do my own thing. I've been working on my own music. I have some other opportunities in TV and movie and film. And I'll be writing my book and working on my website, beautifulmovements.com.
Oh, and your book. So when will that be out?
You know, I can't put a date on it because I've been working on it for quite some time, and it's really just telling the story the way I want it to be told. And but I do look at it, it's getting close, so next couple of years. Mm-hmm.
And we talked about Ryan Seacrest earlier. Now, it seems like there could be a bit of a media mafia going on here, because I see you guys mentioned in overlapping reality TV shows that he's behind, you know, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Is it Denise Richards?
Yeah.
All these sort of things. I'm sort of watching late at night over here going, Pussycat Dolls, and the other things that him, Ryan and Ben Silverman have come up with. Again, you've been mentioned. So it's all quite a close little network, isn't it?
It is. I feel like in every business, especially starting as a dancer, like it's such a close-knit family. You start seeing familiar faces everywhere you go. And now that I've kind of been in this new sort of family, this entertainment family, I see Ryan all the time, and we cross paths. We've been on his radio show and whatnot, and you just see the business minds that exist, and the business is a talent in itself, and I think Ryan has mastered it.
Oh my goodness, isn't he like the hardest working guy in Hollywood at the moment?
He absolutely is. I don't know if he ever finds time to sleep.
And he looks so good on it.
He does. I don't know how he does it.
Moving on, you know, we did mention your computer game. Now, you know you've made it when you've got a computer game.
I know, I've been hearing about this computer game. I need to see it.
I gather you've also just recorded your hit, Don't Ya, in Simlish, which is the language of the computer game The Sims. What does that sound like?
It was hilarious. I remember we were on tour a while back, and we were in the little studio that's on the tour bus, and watching each girl go up and kind of do their thing in Simlish and try to master this language of itself in 2 seconds and put it down and make it sound good. It was hilarious. Yeah, I think that is a talent in itself. Simlish.
Can you give us an
It sounds like gibberish. It sounds like Pig Latin or something. I don't know. I can't even mock it. I can't remember where everything derives from, but it is a language because it like everything has a meaning and it all works out somehow.
Are you quite a computer person yourself?
I am because I find that the internet is such an amazing tool, and I wanted to do like a young girls column in a magazine where I could write about experiences and then people writing questions and I'd be able to help them in their life, and that wasn't coming about. And then I found, well, what could I do where I don't have to rely on anybody and I can still do what I want? And that's when I was like, you know what, the internet is the way for everyone to be their own entrepreneur. And so I created my site, and it's become a family in itself. Everyone calls it the BM family, and to see what a project can do when it's built on love and compassion is inspiring, and I love it. The internet is a place where we all can become whatever we want to.
Which Car Magazine exclusive.
You're listening to MSN Stars and Their Cars podcast with RAC. We'll be back in just a moment. But first, the latest from Which Car Magazine, editor Richard Headland.
Well, we've just been running some more tests on sat-navs, which of course are very handy if you're going touring anywhere. And we've tested nearly 100 of them now, and I think it's fair to say sat-navs get a pretty rough ride of it in some of the national papers, telling people to go down unmade roads and that kind of thing. And actually, we find in our testing that the vast majority of them are incredibly reliable these days. And what's more, you can actually get some of the really good sat-navs, the budget sat-navs, for little more than £100, and they're good enough to be which Best Buys. So. Of course, at the other end of the market, you've got manufacturers who are really pushing things forward, introducing new features that kind of help you get in the right lane when you're turning off a motorway or tricky junctions, that kind of thing. So there's some really interesting stuff going on in that market, and obviously now is a really good time to buy before the big Christmas rush when, of course, a lot of retailers will put prices up. So let's see what the RAC have to say about sat-navs.
Well, I'd like to thank our friends at Which for the question. I think we at RAC would tend to agree with their views. Sat-navs have had a bad rap in the media the last few years. There have been some quite high-profile incidents involving them. But I think in all of them, I think it's a fair question to ask whether it was the technology or the person using it that actually made the mistake. It's easy to forget the sight of motorists in the past trying to read maps or directions as they're driving along, or craning their necks looking for a road sign as they miss their turnings. Love them or hate them, sat-navs have made unfamiliar journeys easier and in a lot of cases safer. Now, just like other technologies, they clearly have improved since they first came out, both in terms of their reliability and how easy they are to use. Now, the acid test for me is that major car manufacturers wouldn't be fitting them as standard in a lot of their models if the technology wasn't now proven. But it does all come back to using them responsibly. Now, sat-navs can be a distraction while you're driving, and you really should never fiddle about with them whilst you're on the move. If you're distracted for just 10 seconds at 70 miles an hour, your car travels about the length of 3 football pitches without your full attention being on the road. It's clearly not a clever thing to do. So the advice from the RAC is sat-navs are very reliable nowadays, but don't be over-reliant on them. It's always good to get a feel for your journey before you go, especially the unfamiliar ones. But make sure your sat-nav's all programmed before you set off. If you have to change it, and you've got a passenger alongside you, get them to do it. If you haven't, then it really is sensible to pull over. And there's one last thing, there's no harm in keeping a good old-fashioned map in the car as well.
You're listening to MSN Stars in the Cars with RAC, and our guest is uber hottie Kimberly Wyatt from the Pussycat Dolls. Kimberly, now I've mentioned you have toured an awful lot. What's it like being on the road so much? Is it like a big celebrity road trip, or is it really just a bit of a bore?
A bit of a bore, oh my goodness. Living on the road is not easy, and we may make it look that way when we're on stage, but we come